So here are a few samples of charts of people who are experiencing some sort of a Venus connection. So this is a chart of a woman, and in the center here is her natal chart. She's got a grand earth trine here. Um, so basically, this is a snapshot of the moment she was born, and out here in the outer circle is a snapshot of the moment today on March 4th when Venus went retrograde. So Venus is over here at 13 degrees Aries, and she's got Venus square to her natal Neptune. So anytime there's something traveling in the outer sky, it acts like an acupuncture point in a way to certain aspects of our consciousness, of our mind, of our body. And for this particular one, Neptune being the part of her that is dreamy, very imaginative. I call Neptune the psychedelic planet. Some people refer to it as, being drunk sort of thing. It is where we're able to let go of inhibitions. It's like a dream state. So having Venus squaring that is sort of activating that part of her. So I would maybe recommend to write down. I always recommend writing down dreams anytime Neptune is involved. Paying attention to dreams, paying attention to intuition, activating, getting into your own creativity, just letting that happen naturally, and then doing something. Doing something meaning going ahead and get out whatever it is you use as a medium to express your creativity. Here's another chart. This is my favorite one because he has Venus. Here's on the outer sky, Venus at 13 degrees Aries. And he's got Mercury, Jupiter, and his north node all within 10 degrees of this retrograde, Venus retrograde. So for him, this is really, really a crucial time for Mercury being the way that he perceives, his cognition, his communication. Jupiter, see, Jupiter's right here between this. For him, this is a grouping, which is telling us a bigger thing about this person. So we can't really take it apart and look at it individually. We would say that communication is a major part of his destiny, his where he's going in life, because that's the North Node shows us about destiny, about a life purpose, life intention. Being huge and being blown up by Jupiter, which is expanding it, making it really big, with Mercury there. So, that his communication, the way that he is receiving information and putting it back out, the whole way that filter happens when we receive through our ears, our eyes, our emotions, our physical senses, and, give back something. So this is communication, perception, cognition, being really expanded and blown up by Jupiter, and that this is part of his destiny. So we could say that also because the North Node is in the ninth house, which is like Sagittarius, so that he is, on a quest and a mission for expanding consciousness, expanding and evolving mankind himself, but in essence, his evolution leads to all of our evolution, and it's like that with with all of us, but I'm just talking about this chart. This is telling me that he has a really big message to get out, and that it's big. So Venus in retrograde going over this section, this doesn't just mean, his love life, which is a lot of what I was reading today in articles and memes and stuff. Actually, he sent me a meme that was talking about, and that's what got me inspired to read this chart today. It's not just about your love life and, rehashing old relationships and don't get into a new relationship. And it's not really, I don't see it like that at all, actually. So it makes me laugh a little bit because that's very just narrowing it down to like, oh, Venus is the planet of love and it's retrograde, so let's just focus on this. But no, because Venus is in Aries right now. Aries is the form of the feminine, which is fierce, protective, which has a mission and a cause that she is dedicated to. She, he, I don't mean just she. I'm just speaking of Venus, the goddess. A mission and cause that it's dedicated to. So some of the things I would definitely advise for this person is to really look at what is your mission in life? What is your calling? You know, do you have something that you, okay, so I'm going to use my chart for an example here because this is just I'm also, there's Venus, there's my Mercury, has to do with communication. One thing I like to ask people when we're looking at Mercury, because, he's got that. Venus is going right over Mercury. The thing about Mercury is this is really where we find our voice. And we can look at the position of Mercury to find out what area of life that your body and your consciousness and where are you speaking through. So it's not just what we think. It's so limited in the way that we've thought about like throat chakra being saying something. No, it's also about your whole body's expression, not just coming through one way. It's coming through every part of you. So one of the questions for Mercury is, okay, so if you were in a situation, what would make you stand up and say something? Like what, for me, the thing, so I know part of my mission and cause has to do with us being in charge of and owning our own responsibility for our energy and for our health and for our wellness. So this whole thing about healing and people calling me a healer drives me insane because to me, you're the healer. And that, if I were in a room full, like a gathering of people at a town meeting or something, and I would see somebody trying to take away, so say that they're saying like, oh, go to Anjani, she's the healer. I would say, no, you're the healer. You know what I mean? I love for you to come to me for my services, because what's going to happen is that you're going to feel yourself and you're going to understand more about yourself. And I'm not going to take away your power. I want to give you more access to your own power and awaken things in you that remind you of your own power in a way that's not going to, be weird. So that's the challenging part for me. But you can find out what is your mission and your cause by thinking about that. If you were in a town hall meeting, first of all, what would make you go to the town hall meeting? What is the mission and cause? For me, I really want people to own their intuition, to trust themselves, to love themselves, and to not give their power away. There's a lady who charges $800 for a level 1 Reiki class, and it just drives me insane because it's her thing and whatever, but it's like, it's universal life force energy. So this is my thing. So asking yourself, what is your mission and cause? So now going back to Aries, Venus being in Aries, that's exactly what it is. So I pointed out these two charts, mine and my friend, because it's actually going directly over our Mercury, which would say that it's activating that part of both of us. So for, advice for those two charts, how can you become an activist for what your mission is? There is nothing in there that says something about our love life, and it doesn't mean that it won't be affected because Venus is the planet of love. I always feel extra connecty and lovable and, attractive and attracted. That's a part of my regular feature that it's a pulsating magnetism that I feel all the time. So it's hard for me to say. I'm like, well, I have been feeling a little extra, but I always feel like that, honestly. So it's a rare few times that I get into other phases, but that's always a undertone for me. I have a lot of Scorpio and Taurus on my chart. So that might be something to ask yourself. Now let's look at somebody else's chart here. Let me just grab the first one I see. And this guy, how funny. Same thing. He's got Venus also going over his Mercury. This is just a funny thing. So there's Venus and then there's Mercury within 10 degrees. So those are the four charts that I have handy right now. So we all are experiencing this retrograde on our Mercury, but you might be having it hitting somewhere else. So I'll just grab this girl's and say, hers is activating Neptune, but say it was going over your rising sign. That would give it a different feeling. It would really the overall tone of this cycle has to do with what is my mission and being a fierce protector of whatever it is that you are fighting for in a way. And I say the word fighting, but I don't necessarily mean like pounding fists, could be. But then looking at your own chart, you can find out more specifically what it has to do with. So I'll go ahead and end here. I hope that this made sense. I hope you liked it. Please like it. Follow my page here and ask any questions because I love to interact and have feedback. Thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.